so it
I thought it could go beside your face. Sorry.
it was.
Right.
But I don't want to be too distant.
All right.
Welcome to the 25th virtual
25.
studio party of 2020 and of ever. Because Kal Honey, my co-pilot,
Hello?
who's off camera, and I started. Well, I guess I didn't have a co-pilot at first, right?
No.
Yeah, I did it solo at first, and then we discovered that it was a good idea to have someone else monitoring chat. So we started this back in March, which is hard to believe. Hi, Megan. Back in March, during the first lockdown, as soon after the first lockdown as it even occurred to us to do it, basically. And anyway, here we are in December in our, certainly where we are, it's our second lockdown. And we're grateful to have this community. So we really appreciate you coming. And hi, Linda.
Hey, yay.
Bella.
How are you, Linda?
Yeah. And, the fact that it coincides with our final for 2020 is just perfect somehow. There's something significant about the 25-year mark. What am I thinking? 5 years is 25 episodes. Oh man,
There is something significant about the 25
yeah,
year mark.
There really
We're not
is.
there yet, though.
But we're a long way from that.
And hopefully not episodes. 25 years of lockdown.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Perish the thought.
Yeah. So, there are people in the chat there.
Rebecca and Kirk, you guys are
hey,
stars.
Rebecca.
Welcome
hi,
aboard.
Kirk.
And hey, Val.
So glad you could make it. Val's here.
Hey,
wonderful.
Val. And Susan Abbott says, hi there. Thanks for streaming today. You're very welcome. Nice to have you along.
Yes. Hi, Susan. I'm so glad you could come. And so, last week, those of you who were with us last week, that was the last of Kal's Virtual Collage Jams for 2020.
We just can never say the other person's
No.
So bear with us.
We're lucky to just stumble over to the live stream, honestly. I don't know, Saturday always feels like a tired day. It's the end of the week, even though it isn't the end of the week for us because we do these on Saturday. So that's part of our reason for switching to Mondays in 2021. And I should say at the outset, we're going to be... oh, look who else is here. Oh, my
Peggy
God.
And Elaine, we got
Peggy, you made it.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Well, I sure hope you're able to stay with us. I know you've got internet challenges, but thank you for coming. That's so nice. And Elaine is here. Oh, it's so lovely. So in 2021, we're going to switch to Monday afternoon, same time, but on Mondays. And I know for some people that will be more convenient. For other people, it will be less convenient. So we're just, we changed it once before and we're changing it up again just to allow some people who haven't been able to come live to attend next I don't know what part of next year or whatever. So what are the dates we're actually back, Kal?
I will give them to you in just a second.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I will
just get my calendar in front of me. Because, if I start... So Virtual Collage Jam makes its triumphant return on Monday, the 18th of January at 2 p.m. And Kim's event, the Virtual Studio Party, will follow on the 25th.
25th, a week later, also a Monday, also at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
For those of you who are here from other time zones.
And Cherie said, hello, Cherie. Says the only constant is change.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Right?
But
well, no, that's just the way of things.
The nature of the beast right now.
And that's also one of the things about. I thought it would be interesting to think about what what good things may have come from this year, in a year that has been full of challenges and difficulty, and there is a very small group of people for whom it's been just introverted people who are homebodies anyway, who are in a situation of comfort, and their health is stable enough that that's also worked in their favor, that they maybe have had a better year than a lot of people. Ours has been a massive roller coaster, and I think I think we're not alone in that. I think there are lots of other people who've been through the roller coaster, and so good things have come from it, and that's what I thought I would focus on. So if you have any good things that you can think of, they can be small, they can be big. Please put them in the chat there. One of the big good things for us has been Kal used to drive around constantly, going from gig to gig to gig. I mean, it was the preceding year and a half was insane, and he was getting really run down. But he was too busy to sort of notice very much or to do anything about it. And also we hardly saw each other because of that. So this year, the post-COVID time has been, very stressful in lots of ways. We have had lots of time together. Still, I mean, we spent a lot of time in our separate studio areas and so on, but we even work together, right? Doing these, which has been really, really nice. So, and I'm grateful that I can say that that's the case, because I know that the divorce rates also go up during lockdowns. They found that in China.
I have a few things I should pass along.
Please. So, yeah.
Says, hi guys, looking forward to making some art on a rainy Saturday. And Elaine says, hello. You know that she's here, but hello to you two wonderful 25 episode artists. And Peggy says, trying this again, still crazy stilted video, but she's
I'm sorry that that's the case.
Annie is aboard.
Hey, Annie.
And she also says, yes, the blessing is having our 16-year-old teen home for both some quality and quantity time.
Yeah.
And Mira has just joined us.
Hey, Mira.
Hello, Mira. And she says, hello, teachers. Our last meeting. Looking forward for January. Let me tell you guys are amazing. A power fountain of knowledge and sharing.
Aw, thank you, Mira. And you're amazing too.
Yes, we're very blessed to have wonderful artists in our company.
This event has been a blessing in our life, because I know it
massive.
We created it with the idea that we knew all kinds of people who would be missing their creative community, and many people even living alone and not having creative community. It just seemed like something we needed to do something about if we possibly could. So we learned how. It was a bumpy road learning how to do live streaming. Hopefully the internet will be stable today and not create problems. But so lots of learning has happened this year too. That's another thing that's been good.
Yeah, which has been great.
A little high paced, but
it's I know you've been learning like a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, yeah.
Kim usually does. Voracious learner at rest.
Yeah, normal times I'm always learning a million things, but this year's been tripling my rate of learning, which is maybe part of why I'm so tired. But it's been gratifying too, so
you have several people chiming in on what was good this year.
I'm delighted to hear it. Oh,
so Gwen too. Hello, Gwen.
Hi, Gwen.
Yeah. Said, wanted to be here for the last party of the year. Have enjoyed seeing you all when I could. Still together after 53 years, and take it 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Good.
53 years. That's an amazing accomplishment in and of itself.
Cal and I celebrated our 30th this year, just before COVID broke. I'm glad it happened before COVID happened. You know, we didn't have any of that affecting what we were thinking about at the time.
And Rebecca says, we got kittens, which we're very about, and of course got to reconnect with you through these events.
Oh, yes.
Silver linings for sure. It's been really lovely getting back in touch with you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Really, really nice.
Megan Hegarty says, 2020 has been a blessing in that I've got to meet some incredibly talented and kind people across the globe, like Kim.
Aww. Thank you.
It's really true. Likewise. That it sort of forced us to be stiller, and stretch further in some ways, right? I mean, I
being more still has allowed us to get out there more in a different way,
an internet sort of way.
Yeah. I have to say, you know, switching over to online teaching has been, I know that there are benefits to the in-person social experience of in-person courses, but online teaching has been a really great experience for me, despite the learning curves, despite, you know, it being a lot to take on all the different facets of it right away. But I'm getting better. And
I think for me, it's been a revelation, because I think if anyone had said before COVID, like, you should try teaching online,
I'd be like, wouldn't have wanted to do that.
Yeah, I'll never do that. And then COVID forced my hand, and it's like, oh,
that's right. And I was already doing some teaching online, but this really, it wasn't physical media; it was digital media. So that's quite different. It's ideal for digital media, but for physical media, it actually can work amazingly well. So so that's been really good. What else have people said in the chat there?
Gwen says she's attended many virtual symposiums too, which I didn't have to drive to this year, which is great.
Yes, events. I can't get to events. Like, this is the thing I've discovered. You know, I have limited stamina, like, as an issue, and so I see so many things that I would love to attend in person in normal times, and I actually was able to attend a few things virtually, which was phenomenal. The fact that was an option, and I hope once we have COVID behind us, that virtual options will become options. So you could go in person, but there could be a virtual aspect as well. Would be great to continue, because you know, whether it's geography or health or energy levels or timing, schedules, those can be so useful. And replays are great too, right? When those are possible.
Gwen says, congratulations on 30 years. Mira says they celebrated their 48th on December 7th.
48. Wow, well, I know you were young when you got together, Mira.
They got married when they were like 3, I think.
They were fetuses. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. Wow.
Rebecca says, we also celebrated our 20th year together and 10th wedding anniversary this year. Hey, that's hilarious.
They did the same thing.
Yeah, okay.
We have a lot of parallels with them.
Now, is Sparkle Girl K?
Yes.
Okay, so Sparkle Girl K says, hi, Kim and Cal. Happy to finally be here this fall. This has been a crazy year, but so grateful for all the online opportunities this has brought me, including your fabulous classes in these studios.
Thank you for being part of all of that.
And Val says, we celebrated 35th anniversary. Fortunately, our special trip was canceled. Oh, yeah, that is a heartbreak. But we're together and healthy, so that's good.
Exactly. Count your blessings, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Sonia Haida says, hello, everyone.
Hi, Sonia.
Hello, Sonia. And some people, it's fun. A whole bunch of people know each other in the chat.
Fun.
So they're saying hi to each
it's
other,
nice that you can chat in the chat. Lovely.
Gwen says, I agree with Kim that I had to miss quite a few talks and webinars due to oversaturation in and needing time to process. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've always admired, Gwen, your ability to go to things. The few times I have gone to things, you've almost invariably been there.
Like any art event we've gone to, Gwen is there.
Yeah, and, it's crazy.
Elaine says, I attend international events every week now and have connected
It's
with
amazing.
artists and bio artists globally too. So that's
I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah. And
yeah, you're the reason I attended some international, I don't know if it was in Germany, it was a sci-art, science-based art, for those of you who don't know the term, event. And I forget, there was an artist there who was incredibly pertinent to my interests. And I remember sending you an email or a text or something, Elaine. Thank you for that, because I would never have known about them without going to that event. And it was fabulous seeing the work. So yeah, it even though we're all siloing in our homes to greater or lesser extent, it actually the potential to connect us far more. And I know that at Virtual Studio Party and Virtual Collage Jam, we've had people coming from the United States. I don't know of anyone coming from farther than that, but there's no reason people couldn't if they knew about it. But that's been really nice too. So I'm just going to take a minute. Please feel free to keep offering up your thoughts on that, because I'm all ears. And thank you very much for those of you who've liked the video already. It's so nice. I've worn my jingle bells in honor of our pre-Christmas event. And it's a tradition for me. I made this necklace many, many years ago. You can see my fine jewelry making skills. And I've also worn my traditional Christmas earrings for this event, which are ancient just tassels, and that I got from the late lamented store in Toronto called Dressmaker's Supply, that was a treasure trove of notions and all things sewing related. And what did I buy there? I bought some tassels and turned them into earrings. So anyway, I just wanted to do something, make it feel festive, because it's special. And Kal made the lovely sign that is on the thumbnail. I asked him, I commissioned him, because I knew I wasn't up to it. So you see, he's got a little festive graphic there. So whenever holiday season rolls around, I get itchy paper crafting. So and paper crafting, of course, can be like anything, can be engaged at any level, engaged with at any level. Can I speak?
Oh, it's optional.
Well, if it weren't my only language, I might not worry as much, but it is. So, for example, last year for Christmas, I made my mother a fancy Christmas star with all kinds of cutting and folding and different papers and stuff. But I'm not one of the things I like about Virtual Studio Party is I do things I'm not necessarily expert at. That's true of my art practice in general. I think we could safely say. And I thought this is a great opportunity, since I wanted to do paper crafting, to pull out a couple of things that I acquired before COVID happened, and have never used. So tools for paper crafting. So one of them is, and I feel I can't tell you how excited I was to get this. Some of you may recognize what this is. It's called a scoring board. And if I hold it up close, you can see it's covered in grooves. And it has measurements along one side and along the top. It comes with a folder tool, but of course I have my own better
premium
ones.
Yeah.
This one, if you're not careful, it could poke through your paper. But it's great that it includes it, and it's got a little spot to store it and everything. So this is particularly useful for scoring and then folding cards, boxes, and envelopes. But really anything that you want to fold very cleanly and crisply. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it all stems from being introduced to origami when I was a child and loving it. I'm not like a hugely expert origami artist or by any stretch, although Cal's cousin
Miriam,
pursued at a very high
a
level. I don't know how much she does now. Yeah.
She has done a lot of
really amazing.
Sophisticated. Yeah.
So I think that
I think as a graphic designer.
Oh, and as a graphic designer, working in print.
Kim was always interested in coming up with unusual ways to use paper to make a project distinctive and unique, rather than like, here's a sheet of paper, let's design what goes on it. She's like, well, we could fold it in an interesting way. And what if it's
just like I am as an artist, exactly. Right? I love the materials. So I was all about the paper samples and getting out the paper samples and getting out the color swatches and, the binding methods, anything. So I'm not a graphic designer. Well, I, very rarely do any kind of design project except for my own business operations. And then I do them very slapdashedly because I have no time. So paper crafting really helps me with that. So
just before you get any further,
please.
There are a few things that we have to get.
Let's get caught up. Yep. Yes, so, absolutely.
So Gwen says she likes her special nail polish.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I forgot. I did a festive manicure.
And Gwen says I used to have my nails painted in stripes and colors to go Formula One and India events. Another art form. That's great. I love it.
Fabulous.
Sonia says Happy Hanukkah too.
Yes. Happy Hanukkah, everybody who celebrates.
Rebecca says, even the long layoff has been a bit of a blessing as it let me recenter and focus on what I love to do, particularly art. So, yeah. And that's
a beautiful thing.
Including classes with us, which is lovely.
When lockdown first happened, Cal and I were thinking, we'll have some time to reflect and work on some projects at home that need attending to. I thought I was going to do a deep clean of the house. I like all week long, just not going out anywhere, but just at home, struggling to keep up with everything.
One of the first reflections we had was like, everyone else is going to be in the same boat, and this is an anxious time, and so
we should do things to.
And then a few comments about the scoring board. Cherie says, I could have used that making my Christmas cards. Exactly. And Linda says, I'm doing paper craft right now. Folding, pasting, cutting, also cutting up bubble wrap. Fun.
Ooh, cutting up bubble wrap.
And
fun.
Mira Martinez says, as well as me with mine. And hey, and Holy Cow Studio. Who's that? Raheel.
Oh, hi, Raheel.
He says, hi, Kim Lee. I made it this time.
That's
welcome
so great.
Aboard. Yeah,
welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Well, you made it to a very special one, so that's really nice. And Raheel, please feel free if you care to share any thoughts on something from this year. I just think we can all use as big a dose of positivity as possible, exactly. Right?
And it's, definitely a lot of it falls into the silver lining category.
Absolutely.
For sure. But that's great. Yeah. It's good to realize that and recognize
I know for a fact that there are a number of people who are here today who had some major things happen that were not cheerful, and I want to honor that was absolutely the case for many, many people. In my case, I certainly had my mental and physical health issues this year, peaking this summer, apparently. But it was my parents that were my worry this year because one got cancer and one had a heart attack. So, thinking about the positive things and doing paper crafting strike me as the best therapeutic response to that. I wanted to share with you, I made my very first envelope using the scoring board. As practice, I thought I'd do one before we did the virtual studio party, and I used an inkjet print photo I had. I have a lot of misprints and prints I've made for classes and things like that, and I thought, what a fun way to use some of them. So this is the front, and it you can see it's, I don't know if it's Spanish or Italian or exactly where it is, but you know, the clay roof. And what's really fun is the back. I think, isn't that lovely with the diagonals? So that's one of the things about working with this scoring board is you're always orienting things on diagonals. It just depends on how you cut the paper in advance, but you know, I'll be doing the walking the tightrope without a safety net or whatever here live on the live stream, just for fun.
Gwen asks, did you get the scoring board from an art supply store or another source?
I think a craft supply place. Like I think you could get something like it at Michael's. Don't know that you can get this exact make at Michael's, but We Are Memory Keepers makes one, and Martha Stewart has one. That one might be available at Michael's. Otherwise, it might be available at Walmart. Yeah, so there are a few companies that make scoring boards, and you can also get small ones that are suitable for small cards and so on. I wanted the big one because if I outgrow things very quickly. So if I get the small one, I'll just get frustrated because I can't go big enough. So I think I'm going to make an envelope first. And I printed out some of my favorite anatomical kind of stuff. Not on my best art printers, so they're not the absolute top notch. But, you know, got a little vascularity here. I don't know if Tinley is with us yet or today, but she was very excited at the idea that I would do some vascular paper crafting. So I made sure that I printed some of that out.
Gwen also says, the best thing about lockdown is that I did not need many new clothes.
Yeah.
Did not dine out. No, I mean,
oh yeah,
we've eaten out like on the hands of
I think we
one hand since lockdown, which has been really great. So, and
of course it's all been takeout.
Well, and just we're home all the time, so we can cook. So
well, and our plan tonight to celebrate the end of term, the final virtual studio party and so on, is we have a friend who's a sushi chef, and this year, after years of being a partner in a restaurant, this was the year he became the sole owner of his restaurant. And you know, I haven't had a chance to talk to him. He works so hard about how that's been, but it can't have been good because he's in the restaurant business. And so at least half of the meals that we have done takeout have been his restaurant.
I put the name in our in the chat. Daiichi.
It's Daiichi in Mississauga at Winston Churchill, just north of Dundas. Yeah.
And if you
right by the Canadian Tire, that's on the east side of Winston Churchill.
And if you're I mean, Sonia says love sushi. A lot of us do. So if you're not familiar with Daiichi, it's sort of in a hidden way in a strip mall, so you wouldn't necessarily find it, but it's extremely
But you
good.
can park you can see it. It's not a big indoor mall thing. It's right in a strip mall, as Cal said. And he's we've known him for over 20 years.
since we moved shortly
And
after
he,
we moved to Mississauga.
he was from, I don't know that he'd been long in Canada. He was still quite young, but he's from South Korea and trained there and then trained in Japan. He's the real deal as far as sushi chefs go, which not all the sushi places are. You may or may not know. And yeah, he had real old school training in Japan. Pretty terrifying hearing his stories about it. So this is another printout I made. I made it red and white to celebrate the season, but also, vascularity, right? That's what I'm all about. And then I printed out this one, which is maybe a little relief. That's I think an 18th century map of Paris, coupled with one of my vascular / tree images. So I think I have a good batch of things to make from.
I just want to pass along.
Please keep the comments coming. Yeah.
Annie says, "I love that place."
Oh, good.
She says, "When my mom and sisters came to visit from Montreal, the owner's mom brought over some fried fish heads for her."
Oh my God, that's so great.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're like there. They know you like something, or they'll go out of their way for you. Which is
the number of times we've gone there and extra things have appeared on our table and whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Linda has a question. Was branching radials produced from your home printer? The quality is incredible.
I can produce it from my home printer because I bought a new printer this year, right? Or was it last year?
Yeah, it's late last year.
Last year.
It's hard.
I can't remember any time-related things. But in fact, if I may plug my favorite printer in the world, because he's that balance of doing a fabulous job keeping his equipment in great condition and having a very sensitive eye. It's artprinting.ca. And he's located in Oakville on Lakeshore at the foot of Kerr Street. And his name is his first name is
H-E-E, yeah.
Yeah, H-E-E. And I send everybody there. Cole Swanson had a big show at a solo show at Hamilton Artists Inc. And I had recommended to him, and he'd gone and investigated other places. He chose because he was printing, I think it was 78 photo prints, and not like they were, something like this. And he was that balance of good pricing with high quality. So it's not just me. It's not, I've sent lots of people there who reported back happily. He definitely does his best. He's very conscientious. So anyway, that's where I got the first ones printed. He does all my larger printing for sure. He did the the big scrolls that I've been showing for the last year and a half, which are film-based image transfers. He large film for me, which was fantastic. I supplied the roll of transfer film, and he printed onto the media for me. So yeah.
Linda says, "Thanks. My big Epson printer is on its last legs, and ink is too expensive." Yeah.
Yeah. So, he can ship, right? And he has, you can upload via WeTransfer. He has a direct link on his website for uploading. He has basic pricing there, and you can ask for quotes and so on. If you do inquire there, please let him know that I recommended him. He doesn't give me a kickback. I just like him to know that that I don't know, because I'm rooting for him, if you know what I mean. He's just a lovely, lovely man, and his son works with him, and they're just lovely. So I really like to support them. And right now, supporting family-owned businesses is such a good thing to do.
Linda says, fantastic. I'll mention your name.
Oh, good.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Linda. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Peggy says, awesome work, you guys.
Aw.
Thanks.
Thank you. There. So I'm I'm doing without thinking.
Well, you are distracted.
Yeah. Whenever I'm talking, something always has to drop off. So I'm going to look up what size I need. So I've got a little table here. It gives me a few sizes of envelopes, and it tells me for a certain finished envelope size, what paper size I need, and then where I need to score, what measurements I need to score at. So I'm going to see what size of print I've actually got here. All right, so why don't I go for the bigger envelope, 9 1/4 inches. Because I'm a newbie at this scoring board, I'm not going to improvise envelope sizes just yet. It's a good idea to get familiar with what you're working with before you start dancing off in all directions. So Linda, I think, said that she was doing paper crafting.
Yep.
What are the rest of you doing? Obviously, if you're in the middle of an action, please continue that. But when you have a chance,
are you working on something? Are you kicking back?
Yeah.
I'm betting Kirk is doing some cross stitch. And
what do you think Rebecca's doing?
I'm betting on macrame, but
I
might be wrong. She'll tell us, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
Mira, are you collaging today? Megan says she's doing a paint by number. Oh, that's great. I love it.
That's so calming, isn't it?
Are you mixing up the colors? Are you painting the colors as is, or are you doing? Are you messing with it? Kay says she's doing her Christmas cards. Excellent.
Perfect.
Susan Abbott says I'm adding beads to some masks. Oh, cool.
Oh, that sounds really neat.
And Annie says, I'm just enjoying the company and will make myself a blueberry tea soon. Wow, that sounds great.
That sounds really nice. And, all right.
Beads to zip is what Susan said.
Well, I'm just going to back
Megan
this
says,
up.
I'm not that brave. Not yet.
And if you can tilt it back. Yeah. There. Now we'll just a little bit more. There. That's good. I think that's a good. No, I think it's pretty good. So.
Rebecca says, you're right. Kirk and I are rushing to finish cross stitch and macrame Christmas ornament gifts.
That's right.
And Raheel says, lately I've been using lots of Japanese papers on my painting and mixed media.
Yeah.
That's great.
I know. I need to go restock. I need to restock from Japanese Paper Place, and I just haven't had a moment.
Yeah. And Gwen says, in post-show percolation, thinking about future direction in sketching and altered books. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
You probably know from coming to this at some point in the earlier days how much I love altered books myself. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Linda says, I've got 3 projects on the go. Holiday cards using washi.
Yeah.
Dragonfly
Fabulous.
ornaments using buttons and bubble wrap for wings. Oh, that sounds great.
That's why you're cutting the bubble wrap.
Right.
That's
I love it.
Great.
I love it.
I'm looking forward to the post of your.
And I'm trying to finish the submission for Propeller's mail art show. So you've got lots on your plate.
Well, we've got at least an hour.
Yeah, exactly. No problem, right? And Peggy says she loves Japanese papers. I mean, and you do amazing things with them, Peggy.
You
do. You do.
I've managed to cut that crooked. That's amazing. This is the problem of of
walking and chewing
I've
gum.
got a parallelogram almost. Wow. That's hilarious. All right.
Linda says, I work best under a deadline. And
yeah, it's the graphic designer syndrome, right, Linda?
Yeah. Hands up if you're a recovering graphic designer.
Well, we won't be able to see that, Cal.
No, I know, but it's metaphorical.
Okay.
Yeah. Both of our hands are up here, and I know Linda's hand is up.
All right. So I've got to... Oh, okay. If I just fix that... Well, so not quite a parallelogram, but if I just fix that one edge, I will be back in square land.
Back in square land.
It's like a motto. Or a song. That could be a song title,
definitely has a song title.
Vibe to it.
Vibe to it. That's the word. That's the phrase I was looking for.
Now, I'm going to give that another go.
Mira says she's still working on Japanese paper CCs.
CCs?
I'm not sure what CCs are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Capital C, capital C. Mira, what are CCs? And Raheel says Gortzman's Art Supplies at Spadina have a huge collection of Japanese papers. Oh, that's
great.
Good to know. Remember being downtown, Kim?
I have some vague recollection of that.
I guess you were there. You sat your.
I sat Redhead.
in, when was that?
October.
October. Yeah.
With Peggy.
Christmas cards. Okay. That's what Sonia says.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. You can tell that we're delinquent Christmas card makers because we don't know the shorthand lingo.
Well, for some years we've made e-cards. I'm planning to send out some physical cards, but not Christmas ones. The Christmas ones are still going to be electronic because it just got out of hand. I wasn't able to get them all out because I had a mailing list of, 180 people, and it just wasn't happening. So e-cards I managed to get around the holiday time.
Sometimes even before Christmas.
Yeah. Well, even New Year's, because we for many years made them New Year's cards, right?
Yes, because we
are. All right. There's my 9 1/4 inch square.
All right.
So now it's time to get out my scoring board. And it comes with this little square or triangle for alignment.
And is it does it have a notch?
It has a little notch. It's every 1/8 of an inch. Wow, so all the grooves are every 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah, cool.
It is not a metric system. So if you're counting on a metric system, you have to, apparently Europeans, there are videos by Europeans who explain how they just come as close as they can by converting. All right. 3 1/8 and 4 1/8.
3 1/8 and 4 1/8.
Okay. So this is how it works. This triangle has measurements on it with little notches. And so when I put it back into place, I will find the 3 1/8 measurement and start my scoring on that groove line. Just for those of you who are curious. But I want my good scorer. And it's nice you don't need a ruler because it's got I'll just do it a second time.
Sonia has a great idea. Sonia says, I think we all need to go for sushi, hopefully in 2021. And I said, sounds like a plan, Sonia. Virtual studio party sushi. That's IRL right. In 2021.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah.
With a Z.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm feeling I'm about 23 years old right now. So 23 years old with early onset dementia. But
Kay says she's in.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should have a meetup.
That's a totally great idea.
Yeah, that would be really great.
And Daiichi is the place to do it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was 3 1/8, 4 1/8 now. Okay. So what's interesting is the score lines intersect. So there's a little triangle, waist triangle that's created by the scoring. And you'll see what I do with that.
A waist triangle.
You'll see.
Okay.
It will all become clear, I promise. Yeah.
Excellent. Susan Abbott asks, are you doing the scores on the good side? Can you explain that part, please?
I am doing the scores on the good side. You can do them on the bad side.
You don't want to get on Kim's bad side.
You would know.
You don't have a bad side.
Nonsense. Yeah, so the other one I did on the back side, but because it's a clean process, really you can do it either side. I fold it in both directions to get the crispest fold, the flattest fold. So that's part of the reason why it doesn't matter. So, I just gentle it this way.
Gentle is a verb.
Yeah. Felt like the best verb for the situation. And then this is the actual direction it's going to fold. I just use my phone folder for that. Now I'll go and do the opposite one.
That's the problem with these crafts. They all get gentlified.
And back. Okay. Now, I was talking about the waist triangle. So you see the score lines intersect and there's this little triangle here. That needs to come out. There are these specialized punch boards for envelopes that come with preset score grooves and punches and alignment things for getting just the right punching pattern for the thing, and it would include punching out that area. But I'm just going to use old-fashioned scissors. Oh, in fact, I'm going to use a knife. I found it was better with a knife. So I just cut it out. And of course, since if anyone decides to try this at some point or get a scoreboard, just remember to have a nice clean table surface. Like ours, right, Cal? Because you're putting this stuff face down.
Ours gets clean frequently now. So, yeah. Tinley has joined us.
Hey, Tinley.
She says, hello, I'm working today, so can't stay, but I wanted to pop in and say hello.
Well, Tinley, just while you're here, look at what I'm making an envelope out of. Right? I thought of you. I mentioned you actually earlier because I purposely printed out some of this vascular stuff thinking of you.
Linda says, what's that? And I'm looking at that like, what are you talking about? She says, clean table surface reference.
Yeah. It's not clear, but it does get cleaned.
Yeah. And we can actually see it in some places.
Yeah. We're never, ever going to show you the other table unless, well, over Christmas, we're planning to clear it. But yeah, the other table... It's scary. 2 artists, small house, danger zone, and constant churn of projects. And we got to move this out of the way because the next things we're filming the next thing, or I have to make samples or whatever, right?
No.
So let's get this. So the scoring board means that the folds don't get that sort of crumpled effect. The scoring eliminates that crumpling that you can sometimes get at folds. And it also allows the paper to be flatter sometimes. It really depends on the thickness of the paper, though. So there's my envelope. Ooh, that's quite nice that it's got this fancy thing there. But I am going to do one more fancy paper crafty thing. I'm going to try it. I have some corner punches for paper, and I haven't figured out this. This is from Japan, and all the instructions are in Japanese. So I think I might have to loosen a screw to rotate it between the 3 sizes it provides in terms of corner punches. So there, you can see it's got small, medium, and large. Whereas this is just a single punch. But I'm going to try this one because I haven't used this punch before. So I'm just going to round off these particularly pointy things. Ooh, nice. Okay, so I'll do these ones like that. And then I'll use the other one for the other 2. That operates really nicely. Excuse me. So now I'll use this one. I do love nice paper punches. I did at Redhead Gallery, we have a magic gumball machine of fate, where we put tiny artist multiple projects, and you can buy them for $2 a piece. And it's the fun. It's such fun. But the project I did for my show last year involved a lot of punching through heavy paper. So I ended up completely frying the punch. It just finally wouldn't punch through anything.
Remember, we were trying to get a whole bunch done when we were there, and I was still using the punch well past it. So Kim was making these things to put in the gumballs, and I was using the punch on the floor, kneeling on it to try and get it to punch through the paper. It's like they're not designed for that.
No, this was 2 layers of heavy paper glued together,
and the glue
to make a sculptural piece.
Tougher too.
Yeah. So now you see I've got nice rounded corners. A smaller one from the Japanese punch and a bigger one from the yellow one. So I forgot to check in our office supplies drawers to see if I had ever bought one of those dispensers of adhesive strips.
I don't think we have any of those.
Okay, so I'll just use glue stick then.
I'll go check, but I don't think we.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate it. Just tidying that one up. I mucked it up a bit. Okay, that's the opposite to how it goes. That's how it goes. Okay, good. I think if I gave my mother her Christmas card in this vascular envelope, she'd have a fit. So I might not. Scrap paper. Here's some scrap paper.
Not the same, but we do have some, now it's removable, 2-sided poster tape. So,
well, thank you for checking. I think the glue stick will just be fine.
I think so.
So, there we go. That's down. And I won't glue the other part because I need to put something in it first. So there's the front of my envelope. And then the back. Okay. I know, you feel free to call me crazy, but I get quite a thrill out of this. I mean, it's the marriage of my favorite theme and paper crafting. I mean, what could be more perfect, right? So, having done that, maybe I'll make a card to go into it. And I have, I keep a lot of misprints, as I mentioned to you. And sometimes the misprints are very high quality, right?
Linda says, love it. Want to start making my own envelopes. Great,
seriously, right?
Great way to repurpose old artwork.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. So, and
Sonia's going on a coffee run. So if anyone wants coffee,
right, just let her know.
Sonia know. Yeah.
Oh, I think I'll actually take a moment and just breathe and have a drink.
Not at the same time.
Okay, I'll try not to inhale my drink. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, cheers. Yes, a cup of good cheer to everyone.
Yeah. Oh, they can't see your Santa though.
Oh, okay.
There's Cal's mug. He always gets Santa. I get the Nutcracker, which I don't have here, but it matches that.
Cherie says, I have framed some handmade Christmas cards. This will be the first envelope I framed.
Well, and in fact, that could totally be an art project. And it may be an art project I'll have to do at some point, like.
And Raheel says, lovely.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so let's see. These prints are on heavier paper. This is on a premium bond. I think it's a 32-pound premium bond that's acid-free and bright white. And so it has no inkjet coating, but I printed on my inkjet printer. So it's not as astounding photographic quality as you get on an inkjet coated paper, but it is, pretty nice, and it has the benefit of being less expensive and not having a coating on it, which sometimes is exactly what you want. Are you photographing it in my hand like that?
I am indeed.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I thought the next thing I'd make on the scoreboard after a card would be a box, and that these heavier paper prints would be great.
Oh, can you use the one that was on the very bottom? It's probably not big enough, but it sure is gorgeous. On the bottom of the stack you just pulled out.
Oh yeah, is it this one?
Yeah.
Peggy will recognize this one. I hope Peggy's still with us.
Probably in and out.
Yeah. So this is an artwork not printed quite right. I meant to make a series of these images. I have a lot of things like that.
A lot of
and someday I'm going to take a year off
and go back and
get caught up on all the things that are almost finished, or the series that just need a few more iterations,
I think we both have a lot of
unfinished
ends. And I mean, I think in part that's the nature of creativity, that some don't get finished. But I think we have a very high percentage.
I'd like some people to pipe in, anybody on the subject of artworks that really warrant being finished. It's not that they're unsuccessful and therefore they're not finished. It's that they actually deserve to be finished. You just haven't gotten around to it. Or series, things that would make great series, but you've only made a very small number or only one, but they deserve a series. So please chime in if you have that issue too. But I'm curious to know, for example, if Elaine or Peggy have that issue, because they strike me as people who wouldn't have that issue.
They do strike me as people who like
work
their way through something and then move on to the next thing in a very organized, workmanlike.
Yeah, I don't. It's just something, a sense I have. Yeah. We could be way off. You could have 1,000 unfinished series and whatever. Yeah. So I should show, like, here are some of my, these aren't even misprints, test prints right? From my really big 108-inch long hidden complexity print. It's actually oriented this way. And because it's 108 inches long, it was impossible for me to print the whole thing at a size that was meaningful. So I would print very small sections of it, still at a reduction, but big enough that I could get a sense of what was happening. This is quite a nice one, actually. This one, it's quite far along in this case. So I don't know. I might save that for something. Oh, what have you got there?
Just never mind.
All right, I'll just ignore them. Yeah, so this is me printing out an early stage of it, the whole image, but very, very small, because how tall is that? I don't know, 5 inches, and in real life it's 36 inches. So you miss out on a lot. Whereas here it is further along, very far along, in fact. I think it goes like that. So I don't know. Would one of those make a good? I have a feeling I saw the red. Yeah, the red and white one is here. So similar thing with this print.
You've got lots of input as far as...
oh, good.
Rebecca says, I have lots of unfinished, waiting to be completed projects and pieces.
I hear you.
Linda McIntosh says, I have all of the above. And Gwen says, unfinished works have served their purpose if we learn something that works in the next creation. To which Linda says, amen. Amen, Gwen. Yeah. And Sonia says, back. With her coffee. So
back with your coffee. Yep. Great.
Yep.
I hope you brought my order.
Yeah. And this Americano is just the ticket, Sonia. Thank you. And Sonia says, great colors. And Annie says, I have 3 quilts ready for hand quilting and another 2 hand applique quilt tops in progress.
Right.
And Kay says, oh, so many unfinished pieces. so you're not alone. You're in good company.
Oh, this is fun. Before I cut it up, I'll just let you see some of the detail of this. So this is a close-up on, this is a miniature of the full-size piece. This print, which is currently for sale in the Redhead Gallery 30th anniversary fundraiser.
But bigger than that.
At redheadgallery.org. But it's the original print that I made, which is just over 5 feet long, which I know sounds big, but
depends where you're hanging it.
Yeah, right? I mean, it could be the perfect
massive
thing.
When we took it out of the house, and then when we hung it
in the gallery, it looked small.
It looked small, exactly. So Sonia says beautiful.
So I'm going to make cards from this, I think.
Cool. And Val
says, that'll go well.
I have a blanket. I have been knitting since before my daughter was born, and she's now 33.
I love it.
You're a close and long knit family.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And I guess I should move the scoring board out of the way for the time being.
Gwen says, lovely color in this work. The one you were showing.
Thank you.
And Cherie says, I love series. My trouble is transitioning past them. The virtual collage prompts help me do just that.
Yeah. Yeah. Prompts are great. One of our most popular things. Well, Linda, you'll remember this when I did a workshop in Markham. I think it was in Markham. Yeah. Because, of course, it was the same day as the Santa Claus parade or something. And so it was hard to get there. But it was an abstraction, usual workshop on abstraction.
It's a given. If it's you, it's going to be slightly
so different
unusual.
pathways to it. One of the most popular things I did there was I had a prompt box, and I said everybody at some point when they were sort of running out of steam, come up to the prompt box and pull something out at random because you couldn't see what you were pulling out, and do that thing, whatever that meant in relation to the thing they were working on. And it had amazing results.
Yeah, I bet you the person who wrote the prompts wrote some good prompts.
Maybe. I don't know. I still have the box. I really need to upgrade the box, though. Which I can do because now not teaching in-person classes, I have all these supplies and things that are intended for in-person classes. And so they're just cluttering up our house right now.
Linda says, that was a great project.
That was a fun workshop. That was Vita and Sheila put that on, and wow, they knew how to run a good workshop. I felt so looked after, so I could really focus on delivering the best workshop I could.
Yeah. Linda says, just the kick in the pants needed when it struck.
Yeah, exactly.
Or when stuck.
When you're stuck. Yeah, exactly.
The prompts. Yeah, sorry.
Because it gets your brain back in gear. It gets your gear. Whether you like the prompt or dislike it, it's equally powerful.
Yeah. Well, because you respond to it, right?
Exactly.
It might be like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then how can I make that work?
Yeah.
And or like, oh, that's great, I'll do that. Cherie says maybe the box you're making now could be your new prompt box. It's going to be a longer, not so prompt project, I think.
I'm just trimming off all the white margins so that I don't have those to deal with. And can you believe how dark it is? We are getting closer to solstice, right? And it's getting dark so early out there. I mean, it's very gray and cloudy where we are. Yep, I cut it crooked right at the end, so I've got to trim it better now. There we go. Pay attention. Cuts will go better. So, when it's full bleed like that to the
great.
edges.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Okay, so I've got to think out how I want to orient it. Where's my envelope?
Linda says, pouring rain in Markham, lovely atmosphere for crafts. And Sonia says, yeah, perfect for a virtual party. Great day.
It is. And I've had nothing but glorious sunny days for, I think, the last month and a half. So when I woke up this morning and saw how gray it was, I thought, oh, maybe more people will be coming today.
Yeah, because Mother Nature would invariably pull out an unseasonally warm day all fall, it seemed like.
It was insane.
Whenever you were doing. So.
It was really nutty. I'll just double check my, woodworking days. Measure twice, cut once. Make sure you know what you're doing and it's going to work. Yeah. Actually, that should be 4.5. Okay. All right. And what measurements have we got here? Oh, maybe do 3 that way. It depends on this, though. Oh. Okay, well, why don't I do that? It in half. There, not bad. And what was that other measurement? 4.5, so 9.
I've done that so many times. I have a little cut off scrap, and I've put my measurements on that, and then they're like, "Where's my little scrap?" Right?
It's true. So true. All right.
While Kim is busy measuring, I've asked in the chat if any of you guys have any holiday movie recommendations for us, classics or artsy films or
anything at all.
Like? Yeah. What do you like at this time of year?
Or maybe you're someone who runs screaming from all the holiday overdose, and so you have a favorite go-to that gets you away from it. We're open to all the suggestions. Yeah. Okay, there's that one. This is actually 8 1/4. So I'm going to get a Post-it note. I've discovered this week I have 0 working memory left. It's the end of term syndrome, I think. So everything must be written down. Okay. Let's make this one the 9. How did I discover I had no working memory? Because I was trying to just hold a tiny amount of information in my head for like a minute and a half. And I had to keep going back over and over and over again and checking it because it just wouldn't stay there. It was, Peggy knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's another one that goes with that. All right, I've got two cards for scoring. Woohoo! Get out the scoreboard again.
So Val says the classics, A Wonderful Life and Christmas Carol are some of her go-tos. Sonia says Scrooged is one of her favorites. I don't think I've seen that, but that's a humorous one, right? And
yeah.
We really, really appreciated your tip from several months ago, Sonia, because I think she put us on to Baron von Sketch. Baroness von Sketch, which is hilarious. It's so
absolutely
great. Yeah.
hilarious. It just ended too.
Yeah, not a Christmas thing, but Rebecca says Muppet Christmas Carol and Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah, I
amazing.
love
I
Nightmare
haven't seen
Before
that in a long
Christmas.
time, so
we'll have to. Okay, that's 9 inches. I do remember that, so you know.
9.
So 4.5 is where I need to score it.
Just say yes to 9.
And this time I will turn it over. That's not the right way. Don't do it that way. It's not an envelope, Kim. Just do the straight way. I have conversations like this with myself all the time. So find my 4.5 mark.
Linda McIntosh, who is a music person, as you know, says not Christmas related, but just got Gordon Downey's last CD, Away Is Mine.
Oh.
And
Wow.
She said it's so hauntingly beautiful.
Well, that sounds like that should go on our list.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. This is heavier paper, I can see. So I actually did the score 3 times. And now I'll fold it. And we'll see how it turned out. I'll just gentle it.
So Annie says that she likes The Grinch That Stole Christmas and Charlie Brown's Christmas. And yeah, those are definitely favorites of ours too. Especially.
And the soundtrack for Charlie Brown Christmas is just genius.
Yeah.
Okay, I messed up. How did I mess that up? Honestly. It's not matching. So no problem. I'll just trim the excess off.
I guess this is going to be slightly smaller than
it's going to be a little
right?
smaller than I thought.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Exactly.
Whatever. You go with it, right?
Megan says, what I should be doing right now is finishing up a crochet Jack Skellington for my sister's Christmas gift.
Oh, my.
And do you know what a Jack Skellington is?
That's from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, cool. That's great. Sonia says her new favorite crazy TV show is How To with John Wilson.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Definitely have to check that out. All right. I trimmed off the excess. And there's my card. So that's kind of nice. It's fun making cards out of this stuff. I also have countless gel plate prints that could be. So, I don't know if I'm actually going to match it to this envelope, but it does have stuff in common. So. And there is something nice about the contrast coming out. So, or I could put it in this way. I don't know. It's funny. There's a kind of book called an envelope book. And I think it would be, I would love to make one day because the fun of what are you going to put inside the envelopes is great. And then flipping the envelopes. But making the envelopes first would be fun too. So there's card number 1. Let's get card number 2 done. Maybe I can do a better job with card number 2. And let me just double check my, measure twice, score once. So that says 9 inches. So 4.5 inches should be right.
Well, you may have just slipped into the 4 3/8 or something.
Maybe.
So Linda says of the CD is the packaging is wonderful too. Drawn by his daughters.
Oh.
And Sonia says produced by Nathan Fielder, the TV show How To with John Wilson. Annie says her daughter's learning to play some of the pieces on the piano from the Charlie Brown Christmas.
Fantastic.
And Linda says the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel was a fun series. Yeah, we were enjoying that. For
sure.
Yeah.
We haven't finished
we gotta
it.
Get back to it.
Yeah,
but,
it is really enjoyable, isn't it?
Yeah. And people really like your card.
Oh, that's
Very
nice. Thank you,
Sonia and Linda. And
all right, I did a little better this time. I was very careful, but I have a sliver that it's off by, so I'll just trim off that sliver.
Yeah. in all sort of print production type things like magazines and books, they do the folding first and then they do the final trim, so that they're
because
cutting
there are
the actual,
always
right?
things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, don't sweat it. That's the way to make it.
Yeah, there we go. So now let's see what this card looks like. So there's this side, which has a lot of detail. I go in closer. So you can kind of get lost in that. It's quite lacy. And I like the fact that it opens up down here. So very, very dense and then much more open. But there's also this side. So I don't know. It's like this card has two fronts. There's the whole thing. You know, sort of abstract that way.
And he says, yes, love the lacy side.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. I think it was inevitable that I would get involved with print somehow as an artist, because things on paper, I loved that about being a graphic designer. And when we were graphic designers,
everything was on paper.
It was all on paper. It was not, I mean, you could be a designer for movies or something like that, but other than that, it was on paper.
But as designers, we actually looked really good on paper.
Did we? Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Linda says, slice it in half and make 2 cards. And Sonia says, beautiful cards, perfect for framing.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Well, and you could get one of those frames that has glass on 2 sides, and then you could just flip the frame over every week or something.
You know, Cherie is all over that.
Oh yeah.
You know, you can even have loose pieces and just like sandwich them in there.
You just cut these up and put them in the. Yeah, I feel Cherie. She likes options.
She said earlier, has everyone heard Hello from Basement by Barbara Lisa, a Toronto musician?
No.
Or Leica, I'm not sure how to say it. A pandemic song.
Wow. No, I haven't heard that.
Busy jotting it down.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to make a slightly different proportion card out of these 2 pieces, because they're a little shorter than the pieces I started with for those. So,
hello from my basement. Thank you, Cherie.
Gotta watch it at the end there. If you're pushing too hard, you push right through the paper. Note to self. Lighten up at the end. There we go. That was better. There.
Yeah, Sonia says it'll be interesting to see all the art made in 2020 or about 2020. And yeah, for sure.
I know a lot of people suffered from malaise in the studio this year. So even though they might have had the time and space to do work, they actually couldn't find it in themselves. They were too tapped out, I think, from the stress and the changes and all of that. But I've been doing my bit, trying to re-energize people who needed it. And we had a couple of nice examples. Yesterday I taught my last class of the term in contemporary mixed media explorations, and I know there were a couple of people, there may have been more than this, but a couple had spoken to me specifically about the feeling stuck or blocked or just a malaise in their studios, and they've left the course all energized and inspired, and I couldn't be happier,
Yeah, Sonia says I can relate.
Yeah. It's
and I think a lot of us at first were like, okay, well, we're safe. and safe for the
Yeah.
moment. So we should, type A, take advantage of this
Well,
opportunity, right?
And that word should, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
So,
Yeah.
there's the whole, it gets compounded when we guilt trip ourselves because we're not feeling it. And if we're not feeling it, then we've got to nourish ourselves before we can put out in the studio, right? So, and, I know, Sonia, you have a grief situation going too, and that adds a whole other layer to that malaise. That is a profound thing. And don't minimize it at all. Give yourself lots of space for that.
And Sonia says, before you said
Yeah.
that, she said, I enjoy doing nothing. And in fact, it's a skill you have to cultivate.
I'm not good at it.
I mean,
if I'm in a state of exhaustion, then I just collapse.
Yeah. So,
but
good for you for actually being able to embrace it.
Yeah, that's important.
I think it's not as easy as it sounds, right?
Some people are relearning the skill this year, right? Because they couldn't go to work or something, or they may have unfortunately lost their job, or.
Well, and art really benefits from some downtime and reflection and some deeper thinking that isn't frenetic. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. And Peggy said of Sonia about the art. She said, Sonia, doing one about 2020 as we watch.
Oh, fabulous. I can't wait to see. I'm still thinking about your exhibition, Peggy. This fall. It was, it had so many of the good things that I love.
Oh,
so media, photo-based, mixed media.
And subtle and profound
and rich.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Peggy, do you have some of that work on your website? I hope now that the show is over.
Well, it's hard to imagine she wouldn't.
Yeah. So definitely check it out, guys. Peggy Reed. Sonia says, my house has never been so clean and organized. We can only win.
I had hoped.
Yeah.
It's a high priority though this coming week to start on that because it's a disaster in here and we can't cope anymore. And the new year is full of new projects, and so we've got to get something looked after. Clear the decks. Yeah, exactly.
So Philippa says, hello, Philippa.
Hi, Philippa.
She says, I've been here all along.
Right.
Just listening and watching on my TV. Tired from a heavy-duty yoga class earlier
today.
My.
Yeah.
Her takeaway from lockdown is that she's in love with Zoom.
Oh, that's great.
That's really great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I never thought I would be, but I really am. I mean, it has challenges too, right? Like when it's not acting properly, or you're trying to track on different people's expressions and all of that. Yeah,
but it has so many things you can do.
But it does,
because we can have the overhead camera. I mean, I think we'll be able to do that with live streams too when we at some point in the new year. We're going to start using live stream software to upgrade what's possible on this. But we have to take it one step at a time because there's a lot of stuff we're trying to take on board. But yeah, I mean, being able to share our screens is fantastic. So
yeah.
We can share our art history that we have on our computer. We can go to our Facebook groups with our classes, or go just somewhere online with our classes, or show photographs we've taken of things, as well as being able to do the face-to-face thing and sharing in class because of the spotlight feature. As long as the student has half decent light,
reasonable lighting. I think lighting's the biggest challenge.
Yeah. Then it's amazing what you can do. I haven't been able to use breakout rooms yet because I have too much content already and run over time.
Well, if you do some critique or some less content intensive classes.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine what that would be, but yeah, I'm sure it's possible to come up with a less content intensive class.
Kay, in answer to Philippa, says Zoom has been a lifesaver. So
yeah.
And Sonia says,
and for
FaceTime.
social as well as
yeah.
Courses and things, you know, because we've had Zoom dinners with people and.
Yeah. I should give you a heads up that you're at 3:30.
Is it really? Well, I'm gonna make a box, so you know, I'm gonna be here a while longer. Obviously, I know some of you have schedules you're keeping and all of that, and just please say if you're able to say goodbye in the chat. If you
have to leave us, it's been lovely having you aboard, but yeah, Kim's gonna stay at it for a bit longer.
Show you a couple of things. Was it last virtual studio party I was stitching this?
That was 2 weeks ago. I can't remember.
It's possible. Anyway, I was stitching this. There's still mountains of work to do on it, but you see I'm getting some there's dimensional stitching here and here so that it's poofy looking. So lots more to do. I'll do that I'm doing in white, and then I'm going to bring in some red stitching to enhance and disrupt it a bit. Who knows what that's going to look like, but anyway, I thought it was kind of fun to share. Okay, I'm going to make a box, and I got to find my measurement sheet that tells me what I need to know about making a box.
Is that it? No.
Nope. Is that it? No, those are printouts. Okay. Must be over here then. Here we are.
Oh.
Excellent.
Peggy says what I can presume what she's working on right now, sewing / embroidery onto cyanotypes. And I say, ooh, yeah, I love cyanotypes. They're so beautiful.
That's great.
And a couple of people were really sorry to have missed Peggy's show, Sonia and Gwen. So.
Yeah, and trust me, you are sorry you missed it, because yeah, it was just my fingers tingle thinking about it. I know that's a little odd, but that's what happens. To create a box, I need to have a desired base size and height of the sides, and then multiply that by 2 and add that number to the base size. That's complicated. No, it's not that complicated. All right. What have I got here? This is 13 inches wide, right? Yeah. But it's less than 13 printed. So if I make it 8, no, I have to make it 6. I could make a 6-inch box with 3-inch sides. Well, that sounds good, doesn't it? 3 inches.
Yeah.
That's a decent size box.
Totally.
I could make a rectangular one, but I think that'll be too confusing for me, so I'm going to make a square.
Keep it simple, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Plenty of time to make it more
if I'm not
complicated
talking
later.
At the same time, I can apply that extra scraps of brains to that, but not today. Okay.
Philippa says, all the very best for the holidays to everyone. Stay well, and we'll be able to meet again in 2021.
Thank you, Philippa. You too. And your family. This is great. By the end of this session today, I will have broken the duck on my scoring board with cards and envelopes and a box. I'm feeling very pleased. I hope those of you who are making cards and so on, that they're going well, and everybody, all the other projects going on. Okay, which one? This one I'll cut more off of. But let's see. $12 and, well, I can do 12.5, so I might as well.
Linda says, I'm pleased too, working on my 4th dragonfly ornament. Wow.
Wow,
Pretty great.
yeah.
You're prolific.
That's great.
And Mira, I asked you in the chat which group, your Facebook group, you're having trouble getting into, and we'll look into it. Which one is it? The Virtual Collage Jam one, or the Collage Explorations? Let me know, and I'll see what I can find out. Rebecca says, just finished up my macrame snowflake I started at the beginning of the party. Wow.
Fantastic.
Well done. Yeah.
That's great. What a feeling of accomplishment. That must be.
Flaky artist.
Yeah. No, we don't have a tree. Does everybody here have everybody who normally gets a tree? Do you have your tree?
Yeah. I might be heading to Burlington IKEA on Monday in the hopes that they'll still have one.
Yeah. One scraggly little Charlie Brown Christmas tree, maybe. Yeah, we always get them at IKEA.
Kirk also just finished his cross stitch star.
Fantastic.
You guys are cooking.
You really are.
Yeah. It's the positive creative vibes we've got going that are helping people.
I think it's quite energizing.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? And it's energizing in a way that even introverts can enjoy.
Yes.
You know? There. All right. Get my square done.
So Mira says virtual party from Kim. And I'm not sure.
I don't have a Facebook group for the virtual studio party. It's just an event.
Yeah, so it's not a group.
So it may have looked, it may have resembled to you in my posts sharing the event. It may have resembled a Facebook group, but it's not a group. It's just an event.
Yeah, that's
it. Just takes you to the link. You know, it has a description of it, the link, the date, that kind of thing. So
a bunch of Facebook things look too similar for sure.
Yeah, because they all have cover photos, and I think that helps create that confusion. So I'm glad anyway that it's not actually a Facebook group you're having trouble getting into. So
Susan Abbott says, I got one mask beaded and I'm now embroidering hello on another. And she says, not really an art project. And I beg to differ. I think making your mask into something that adds connection and interest for other people out there, because masks are taking away a huge part of our ability to communicate emotion.
I think that's an important part of
So if our masks are actually saying something else, it shows that we're still human, right?
Yeah.
Just we haven't got to it, but so we're wearing like plain masks, and I often think, this is dehumanizing. Wasn't so. So don't diminish it at all.
That you raised that topic too, because the contemporary mixed media course I just finished teaching was specifically focused on incorporating textiles and textile processes in with other media. And one of the things, the very first class was about how the textile arts have been in our culture, in Western culture, very looked down on by comparison with the with painting and sculpture and so on, and that's because they were the feminine arts, right? So, and I'm pleased to say this was the very first online course I had where I had a man. So, because he does a mixture of printmaking and machine embroidery and free arm stitching to make drawing and quilting. And so we've known each other quite a long time, and he saw I was going to be in his bailiwick and signed up. That was really nice.
So Peggy says, yes, Kim, we had a lovely visit. I think of her.
Yeah.
And just because Linda's now probably heading out, she says, thank you for the great afternoon. Got a lot accomplished and truly enjoyed your company. XOXO. Thank you. Likewise, Linda.
Thanks so much for being here, Linda.
Yeah. Peggy says, thanks, Kim and Cal. I have to go and walk the dog. Yeah,
right,
before it gets too dark. And it's and especially today, it's going to get dark sooner. So yeah.
I'm so glad it worked out for you today, even if it's stilted video or whatever. Thanks so much for coming, Peggy.
And she says, all the best. Great afternoon. All the best to everyone for the holidays.
Yeah. All the best to you guys.
And going back to a couple of earlier things.
Okay.
Cherie said, I just posted my representation of the opposite ends of the selfie spectrum because she's working on that project of selfies by different artists as she imagined
right.
Yeah,
right.
So she said Gustav Klimt, who never did a self-portrait. Wow. And Ai Weiwei, who is a social media icon.
Yes.
So, which is great.
Opposite ends for sure. Exactly. Wow.
Val said, if I have to wear a mask, I want them to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm with you, Val.
I agree. Yeah. We just as is often, time, energy, and organizational skills.
Yeah, we need Sonia's organization. Any number of you guys, which we do get especially from events like this.
I'm deliberately doing this slowly, by the way, for anyone who might be interested in the scoring board thing, because I don't want to skip. I don't want to skip grooves. That can happen if you're too hasty, and you can end up partially in this groove and then over in that groove. So just FYI. All right, all 4 are done.
Jenny Horseman has retracted her comment, but she's here, so you can say hi.
Hi, Jenny.
Yeah.
Glad to know you're here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I see how I need to cut this. I think I'll make it a little bit of an acute triangle.
An acute triangle by a cute artist.
What a smoothie, eh?
Oh, he's got pointy corners too.
Yeah, well.
Like a triangle.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know.
I just have to make eight cuts here to get. It would be 4 if I were doing straight ones, but I have a feeling it'll be good to have a very skinny V notch instead of a straight cut. Now, of course, watch me be wrong, but I'm going to go with that feeling. I'm trusting that it comes from my print designer background. Yeah, it's quite something seeing machines take over the crafting world that are like foil stamping and die cutting and vinyl cutting, and they're all meant for crafters. And, those were all expensive professional processes that some of which we never even got to use.
Yeah, because
I never used foil stamping in anything, I don't think.
It was always prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
So
you needed to have the right project and client to get that. We did have spot varnishes and die cuts.
because
The
doing
die
it for
cuts
one or
were
two,
rare.
doing it for one or two things in a handcrafted way is one thing, but doing it for anything that was going to be mass produced just added cost.
Yeah,
it was too high usually anyway.
But now there are all these home machines. Okay, so now I've got my skinny V notches. And now I can fold my box.
Wow. Rebecca says Michaels now sells a vacuum mold for making a vacuum mold making machine now.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
really?
Which is like
that makes
crazy.
Me vacuum makes me think of Ian Baxterand and his night, like in the 60s or whatever, doing those plastic things.
So Jenny says, Kim, fortunately I picked up my tablet as I settled into craft and it reminded me of your gathering. Thanks.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks for going on longer. Such a treat to enjoy your creative connecting energy.
Aw, thank you. It's lovely that you could come and that serendipity brought you here. That's a nice thing. Yeah, I'm the queen of going longer, apparently.
Rebecca's, she typed in mole, M-O-N, instead of mold. And so I was thinking, a vacuum mole making, which would be kind of fun. Use it in the kitchen.
That's right.
But we knew what you meant.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
Yeah. And like something we've had our eyes on for a while is a Cricut.
Yes, which Peggy has
and
used for her work.
And what are we getting in January, Kim?
I mean, I hope it's January. It might be February.
Yeah,
it's on a, like, it could be 3 months delivery. But the it's a combination laser engraver, laser cutter, 3D printer, and CNC coding machine.
And so I had forgotten about that until just now, and like, we need to make some space because that needs a table, right?
Yes, well, that's why we're going to set up the digital studio. All right, I've got my folds in. Now, what are they saying? Glue. All right, so those little flaps go on the inside. So I'll need to put glue on the flaps. All right.
Glue on the flaps.
It's going to be pretty, eh?
You know what you could do? Scratch some lines on the, like, with the tip of the knife to make it take the glue better, or not.
Do you think it won't take the glue off?
I'm sure it'll be fine. Just ignore me. It's also a way to remind yourself glue on this surface, not on that one. But don't worry. Cherie says, I love your stitched heart. I'm going to return to stitching my vintage photo transfer image of a Ferris wheel on fabric. Nice. And she says, I have a roller coaster companion piece. That should keep me busy until we meet again in the new year. That
sounds great.
Rebecca says, going back to the vacuum form, presumably, or maybe the Cricut, I have a similar machine called the Gazelle, which you can design your own images to be cut instead of circuit. Oh, Cricut. Probably instead of Cricut.
Yeah.
Instead of Cricut, which you have to use cartridges for. Oh, okay. Right.
No, Cricut, the Cricut Maker, you can design your own designs as long as you can create a vector file or whatever, and then import it into the Cricut software.
Is one of the less expensive ones more limited? Cricut was?
Presumably.
Yeah, maybe.
Presumably. But we would never get that one because, we'd be using it professionally, so it would make us happy if we couldn't do our own designs. Just like you made your decision based on that too. Yeah. So
Kim is very much a get the right tool for the job kind of girl.
Well, because I always thank myself when I do.
No, it's true.
You know, when I don't have the right tools. Of course, you improvise and you use, you know, I use offbeat things too, but there are some kinds of things that, you know, I could do my own residency at home for a year with the new equipment when it arrives, just to see what I make of it artistically, you know, learn it technically and then figure it out artistically in terms of my how it fits in. But
Rebecca says, yeah, that's a newer model for Cricut. When I got mine, Cricut didn't have that maker option.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I would never have been able to settle for that.
So I'm just curious, everyone out there, is your video quality reasonable? Well,
I glued the wrong side, just like you said. All right.
Oh, well. Live and learn.
That's fine.
Right?
I'll just scrape the glue off with this ruler here. There we go. No problem.
So if anyone else out there is having video quality issues, let me know.
Oh, are people reporting video
no,
issues?
No, they aren't.
No.
But I.
You are?
Annie says video is beginning to cut in and out, but not too bad. Well, mine has been very low res, and I think it may just be because we're both on our.
Yeah, although you know, we seriously upgraded our internet so that we would have. It's supposed to allow for all kinds of things that our previous internet wasn't supposed to allow. But we actually find this one less stable than our previous one. I don't know why.
Okay, well, lots of people are having issues with video.
Really?
Either it's cutting in and out, or it's lower res. So.
Well, do you want to sign out and just maybe watch my chat on my computer?
I will do that.
We'll just figure, you know,
yeah, okay.
It won't be as easy. But
Gwen says video is pretty good, but they have high quality internet. Well,
yeah, we're supposed to.
So apparently do we, but
we bought an upgrade that is supposed to be 5 times the speed and so on. All right. And that's the one that we have some stability issues with. Now it did improve after one service call. Maybe we just need another service call.
Sadly, I think so.
Yeah. Christmas time's the perfect time to need to have service people coming, right? Or holiday time, to say it more generically. I'm gluing my last flap. And then I'll show what I've got. Now, the last flap's always the hardest because you got to get it in there. Okay.
The last flap is the hardest.
Baby, I know the last flap is the hardest.
I can have a good song joke, but I can't sing it like you can. So thank goodness you're there.
I just was joining in.
No, everyone is going to be happier. Trust me.
All right. I got to put extra glue on this one because it was separating. So. Get some good burnishing happening here. Look at that cute box. I like the way it looks on screen. You know, I've been saving these prints for a while, and it's so nice to have dreamt up some uses for them. I'm feeling quite chuffed. Actually, Cal, do you mind holding up the thing I did in class yesterday? That it is also using a misprint or a proof print So some of you will have seen this on social media, but maybe not everybody. Turn it horizontal. Yeah. There we go. So, yeah, so from the same collection of prints, transformed it with some odds and sods woven in. All right, this is going to need some extra glue applied here and there. I know, I'll use my bone folder. Don't tell any bookmakers that I'm doing this, but it's the perfect tool for getting some more glue in there. There. I want it to have structural integrity when I hold it up for you. Okay. So it obviously needs a lid, but that will have to come later. So there's one side. It's so interesting how the imagery changes when you see it differently. Yeah, there's a spot that needs some glue. That's quite nice, that one. And is that where we were? No, I think that's number 4. And then, of course, there's the bottom. And actually, I wonder if this would look nice horizontal. It might be nice to do a lid for this in a plain color and have all the activity in the lower part of the box and have the lid come, you know, down to about here or no more than halfway down. And yeah, just pick out one of the colors from this. We might even have some colored paper that would suit it. So there's the box. And, you know, I always like to finish off the video with a recap of
the day's adventure.
Yeah. So, oh, there's the Lacy 1 card. And of course the back. Oh, actually, that's not the Lacy one. These are the slightly smaller sized ones. So, you know, who knows? They could go any way. Although this side looks pretty great, doesn't it? Nice negatives. Maybe like
it is kind of fun that you could choose like
orientation and side and
side. Exactly.
This is the Lacy one that Annie liked.
Yeah, pretty great.
Yeah. And one more card.
I really like this one's bolder.
Yeah, because it's at the red end of the image, not the fainter end.
And the other side has some real swooping lines, which are kind of fun. Yeah,
it does. Actually, you know, you could consider doing that horizontally. Quite nice. They're like gestural drawing marks, eh?
Yeah.
Which is lovely. And then here's my envelope.
Rebecca says, because Kirk has been teaching online for 4 years, we got the best internet available.
Yeah,
we focus on high upload speeds.
Right.
Most fast internet is fast downloads, but not necessarily fast upload.
Well, we definitely wanted faster uploads. Very good point, Rebecca. Because uploading our classes to YouTube, it was taking me hours, literally. And, you know, God help you if something went awry. Yeah, so we got triple the upload speed, quintuple the download speed. But what we find is that
for whatever reason, it's fast but more balky.
Yeah, so super fast. Like, oh my God, there's a place I buy digital resources, and you know, I'm downloading gigabytes from that place. And I can't believe how fast it is now, because it would take me hours before. And now it's just so fast. I just watch the thing go like this.
Yeah. So it's kind of a bit like a sports car though right now. It's really fast, but it's not reliable.
I think we just need our lines troubleshooted a little more. because it definitely improved. But
So lots of people are liking your cards.
Oh,
and the
thank
box.
you.
Yeah. And Annie says, "What will you do with it? The box looks great."
well, you couldn't put a really heavy gift into, but it's only a single layer on the bottom, so it would get distorted by something heavy. But it could take a bit of weight. Like I would say, it could take maybe a pound of weight. But I think this would be a very nice gift box. You could even put like some special treats in here, like food treats, with the lid, of course, and with a plastic bag to hold them. But that would be, or wax paper or something. But yeah.
Annie says you could send the cards to one person, one each year for the whole series.
We'd need a volunteer, though.
Well, you know, one of the things I was thinking about doing before Christmas, if I could, is do a giveaway on Instagram. And one possibility for the giveaway would be some cards, wouldn't it?
It's a very good idea. Right?
Yeah, like these cards. So what do you think of that idea? So it would be there'd be some sort of interactive component so that you be eligible for the giveaway, and then I do a random drawing, and then either deliver them or mail them to you with envelopes. That's a possibility. So if that sounds like a cool idea to you, please say. If you think that's a terrible idea, please say, but politely. Don't hurt my feelings or anything. Because I think this year is a good year for a giveaway. Any year is, but this year especially.
Yeah, I think you definitely should do it. But I think you need a little rest first. And we should wrap it up.
We should wrap it up now that I've done the summary and everything. So it looks like there's interest.
You're so surprised.
Oh, that's lovely. Great. Well, so I'm encouraged. I do have a habit of making projects for myself, but I am well along in making these anyway. And it is part of my therapy, self-care therapy, to do stuff. So so watch the Instagram account. It won't be in the next couple of days, but maybe late next week. I have to get a newsletter out. So for those of you who receive my newsletter, one will be coming soon, I promise. For anyone who doesn't get my e-newsletter and would like to, just visit my website at kimleeco.ca, KIMLEEKHO, just like on the YouTube channel. And yes, winter term and all kinds of other things going on. So, and I do have to get that newsletter out. So thank you so much for being with Kal and I today, and everybody who was here but has already left. I hope you have a really good holiday, whatever adaptations you have to make, and so on. I hope it'll be a peaceful one, that everyone around you, including you, will stay healthy and safe, and that you'll find lots of pleasure in it as well. So I'm looking forward to having a bit of a rest, and then getting creative in some additional ways in the new year, because I've got a big project that I will talk about in the new year. How about that? And we're both waiting to hear about another thing that we've both applied for. So fingers and toes crossed that comes ahead, and we'll keep our fingers and toes crossed for you guys, that all is well with you this holiday time.
Well, we've got so many lovely wishes. I can't read them all, but thank you guys, and we will read them before we. So thank you so much.
We'll end the live stream, but we'll read all those lovely messages.
Really,
thank you,
and all of our very best to you guys for a safe and joyous holiday season. And here's to 2021 and vaccines and
things getting better. Right?
Exactly.
Not right away. In the right direction. And thank you, special regulars and to the people who were finally able to make it today, or have been once or twice before, but made it to this special one today. Thanks for helping to make it special.
Yeah.
So we'll be back at Cal's channel on January the 18th and my channel on January the 25th. And until then, all the best. I can't find my cursor. Bye, guys.
So of the cards, I'm in, Annie says. Rebecca says, great idea. Annie says, wow, Kim Originals. Kay says, that would be an awesome giveaway. Mira says, it's been great. Have a wonderful holiday season, all. Val says, have a great holiday, everyone. Hopefully with family. See you next year. Sherry says, thanks for another great session, Kim. Inspiring. See you next year. Annie says, all the best over the holidays and New Year. Thank you both for sharing your gifts, XO.
Who was that one?
Annie.
Oh, she's such a sweetheart.
She is. Rebecca says, thank you so much. A great event as always. Have a wonderful holiday, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year. Kay says, thank you so much, Kim and Cal. These sessions have been so wonderful. Have a wonderful holiday. Here's to a much improved 2021. See you in the new year. Two hearts.
Aww.
Sherry says, good luck with Gladstone. And Susan says, thanks a bunch. I've enjoyed these as well as both of your classes. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Rebecca says, still on.
What?
Are you?
No, I've
got
the edit settings now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, it says live behind it. Why did it say live? That's great. Yes.
Well, they can hear how wonderful we think all their comments are, but it's
supposed to be done.
Yeah, I'm watching the stream and you're still there, so yeah.
That's
okay,
so
well, you
funny.
can see how much we were enjoying your comments, guys.
Yeah.
So that's pretty funny. Well, Tech, what a perfect way to end with a little.
It's not giving me the option to save here.
All right. Well, why don't I stop?
Okay, I'll
This
cancel.
tab is playing audio.
End. There we go.
Okay.